Hi everybody, my name is Erica Abrams and I'm speaking to you from Animal Aid Unlimited in Udaipur, Rajasthan, India. In this short video, we want to introduce you to how to feed a newborn orphaned puppy. We don't use a bottle, we're going to be using a syringe and my finger. And I'm going to show you this method which really works great, and it takes a little practice. So we're making this video to really show you exactly how to do it. Now in Udaipur, the reason I want to tell you that we have an orphan puppy, this mother that was paralyzed, actually she's alive, but because she's paralyzed from the hips down, she wasn't able to push her babies out and she had to deliver this baby by a C-section. And because she's paralyzed, she can't be trusted with the babies in the, or around her. She'll just lay on them because she has no feeling. So from the very first meal, we had this orphan in our house, and we've raised many orphan puppies in this way. We can only in Udaipur get human infant baby formula. If you in your area can get a specialized orphan puppy baby formula, go for that. But this is the best we can do here, and I'm even going to show you how to mix it. We just mix it in little batches because we want it to be as fresh as possible when we feed it. So I'm just going to put, this is just clean water. You might have to boil it if you're in India, or you might have distilled water, and I just put in like 5 mils of water, hardly any. And now I'm going to put Lactogen, the human infant baby formula, which cost 211 rupees. But it's going to last a while. And I'm just going to put, I'm not making a big fuss out of measuring it. I'm doing this like they do in really professional cooking schools where they have all their stuff right there. I'm just putting enough in so that it looks kind of like milk and kind of like, if I want to err on the side of it being a little bit thicker than regular milk, or just really like a creamy milk. And I'm going to show you, Claire's going to do a kind of a close-up, and then I'm going to put this spoon, rinse it in water, and I'm going to just run it through the syringe a couple of times. Now this syringe is a 2.5 mil syringe, and it's nice new one so that its sliding action is pretty good. And so I don't know if you could see what the consistency of that milk was, but it's like
sliding action
milk. Okay, now comes the exciting part. The baby is in this tokri, this basket, and I'm going to use this thing on my lap in case of milk spilling accidents. Here's the basket, and here comes Billy. Hi, lovely. Oh, I have lipstick on, which reminds me, she doesn't want to see my lipstick. You're going to be using one of your fingers, so you want to have your fingernails short, no fingernail polish. Wash your hands, make sure there's no soap on them. And if you think there might be some soap, lick your finger. Make sure there's nothing, no spices, no garlic, no chemicals, because that's going to go in her mouth. And she wants to suck on that because she thinks it's a little titty. Now here's the magic. I'm turning it upside down so that the soft part of my finger is against the palate of her mouth. Oh, she likes that. Okay, so I'm going to get her started on that without using the milk. Now I'm going to slyly take the syringe and I'm going to put it up here, and I'm just kind of putting it in there, and I'm going to start slowly releasing the milk. I'm just pressing that syringe, and if you've not used a syringe very much before, just practice. Practice holding it like I am. And I'm only putting about a 1/10 of a mil every, let's say, 5 seconds. I'm just slowly letting her, and a clue that I'm doing it at the right rate is that it's not dribbling out of her mouth. It's not the end of the world if it does dribble out of her mouth. Expect that, because it happens, especially the first couple days before she's totally got the hang of it. But this way, if I didn't have my finger in there, we'll show you what it looks like. She doesn't want to take it, and we'll show you that after she's full. And we're going to give her probably, this is day 4. So at this point, she is eating every 2 hours. She's taking about 5 mils. And this is a 2.5 mil syringe. So if you're going to keep her alive, you have to be on it all the time. And when she was only a day or two old, she probably only was drinking less than a mil per time, and she wasn't liking it. And she was gagging and stuff like that. And you just have to be persistent. The whole thing is just persistence, because you want her to live, and it's not going to... You can almost not overfeed. Well, I suppose that's not true. You can overfeed her, but most of them are...
She won't eat when she doesn't want to.
Yeah. She'll kind of spit it out when she's really had enough. And we'll show you another way of knowing whether you've... whether she's full is whether her tummy is it's kind of hard and tight like a little ball. And we'll show you that too. But her eyes aren't open yet. I don't know if you can see this. I mean, my arm is really up there.
No.
I want to show you, everybody, that I'm doing it from the direction of upward to down. That's important. The reason that I'm letting gravity work with me, and normally she would be underneath her mom and looking up like this. So this is a pretty good approximation of the angle that you're going to want to use too. So don't have her upside down. Don't have her... Really pay attention to what the position of this puppy is right now. And she's using she's using our photographer's hand as a kind of a brace because she wants some pumping action. I want to show you the wrong way to do it. If you're not using your finger, jamming a hard plastic syringe repeatedly in her mouth, she's not going to want to take it. She doesn't know what to do with it. I'm just giving her little bits coming out. See that? Not the right way. So the finger's always better. She doesn't even want my finger anymore. Actually, she's had enough. Now, we're going to show you some other things that you can do. I'm going to put the milk aside. And now it's time for her to go pee-pees. Pee-pee time. Now I'm going to rinse my syringe right away to keep it kind of somewhat clean. And I didn't, heat the water. You can warm the water if you want, but it's not the end of the world.
Well, it's not fridge water.
It's not fridge water. Don't put icy cold. The coldest it should be is room temperature. Now I'm going to try to napkin off her little bits. Now, very important, kiss her 100 times. Now, next is pee-pee time. Take a piece of cotton. Her mother normally would clean her everywhere and clean around her bottom to get her to pee. They don't just pee on their own. So what you have to do, and they don't poop on their own either. And I am not a specialist at getting them to poop. Claire is the specialist for that, but I can get her to pee. So I'm going to tap on her down there. And I've just got it kind of softly going. I'm going to show you how much pee comes out. Not very much. Every time she eats, I do this, and that's what came out. That's all that came out. A couple of drops. Let's see if we can get a couple more drops. But, almost nothing. And that's normal, and every couple of hours, that's what she does. Nope, there was no more. Then you throw that on the floor and clean it up later, followed by kisses. Now, if you think you need to give her a little bit of a cleanup, just put her down there, and keeping her warm is #1 priority. This isn't warm water, this is room temperature water, and I'm just putting a little bit on this cotton, just a little bit, but I want to try to simulate what her mom would do, and then we're going to be finished. Mom would just start licking her everywhere, and she'd be a little bit, I'm not being rough, but I'm being kind of determined. Clean up her stomach, all the milk that's spilled. We want to get that off in case any of it's spilled. And then as soon as that's done, it's cozy time. And we want to wrap her in something nice and toasty warm.
We're going to use this.
You can either use like a bath towel, or you can use
your husband's.
One of his lovely things, and you don't tell him in case there's a pee-pee. You just wrap her up. And what she really wants most of all, skin to skin. That's her happiest thing, is to just be tight and close. And she's going to whine like that until she falls asleep. And that's the